So you can see this is just a plain artist sketching thing. It's very bright light. Turn it off. Only marks on it is the ruler here, 2 sides. Only 2 sides only. So there's nothing under at any stage apart from that ruler mark, which I try to avoid at great lengths. So I'll put this down, if I can get it down. What I want to see are these. There we go. This is the last of the slides for the 2012, 11th of July 2012 MRI. And what you're looking at right here is a legal implant on 2 separate slides. There's a legal implant there and a legal implant there. And between the illegal, it's hard to say, implants, right, between them, both slides, vibrations, very visible vibrations. These vibrations were not reported by the radiologist, Mr. Kosika, at the Wakefield Centre Catholic Hospital for the government's radiology service. Who is it? Government's radiology service, Perrott & Jones, I believe. So, as I've said before, in MRI, this is MRI, in MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, whatever it is, your bone shows up as white. Okay? These have got black outlines. There, whatever they are, black outlines. That's my jaw. We've seen it in the other one. Black outline, white, black outline, just as if they're made of plastic. White, black outline. You'll see that in every one around my face. This is below my eyes. You can't see, that's where the eyes come in a second. That's above my nose, where the bridge of my nose is. So it's at the side where my ears, just below my ears, just like they're a microphone catching my voice. So there's a few of these with the black outline. That's the end of it there. White with a black outline. Distinctive. Okay, so I don't know 100% what it is, but I do know here we have something that's white with a black outline, and white is meant to be bone, but the black outline is what you see with my plastic teeth. And I'm suspected everything in this radiology because nothing's been reported. This shows the excess silicone pumped into my cheeks. Here, it's a heap load of silicone to make me look different, physically look different. And here they've cut off the ear. They start with the ear. You can see the ear here. Right, they start showing the ear. Get it out there. And then they decide to make it bigger and cut the ear off entirely so you can't see. And then over here, where the screw shape implant is, right here, they've put the 5 centimetre mark. So you can't actually see the screw shape. That's the screw shaped implant. That's this thing here. That's that. They've hidden it under there. That hasn't been reported. None of the abnormalities have been reported, including like these vibrations. These vibrations are significant, right? There's one, you can see them in every one of my brain. You can see it there, that entire row. not so much there, but then this one. Vibrations here, vibrations here, vibrations here, vibrations here, vibrations here, vibrations here, vibrations here and here, vibrations there, not as much, but significant there, vibrations there, and not so much there. But these white things here, these things here, that white thing is my dog, if you can hear it dreaming, they're illegal implants. They're actual connecting cables. These things, they're connecting cables. Your blood veins are black in MRI. They're not blood veins. And you can see here on either side, between the, on either side of the vibrations, you can see the illegal implant. In each one, the illegal implant. Very clear here. You can see that's by getting focused. So that's another thing. That's white with a black outline. Exactly the same as this. White with a black outline. Exactly the same as this. You don't have bones in your brain. I may call people bonehead, but you do not have bones in your brain. But it's not a bone, that's an illegal implant. Okay? And whatever this is up here, that's an illegal implant too. Whatever this is here, that's an illegal implant too. On both sides of my head. There's one film there. Both sides of my head. That's an illegal implant. They're illegal implants where my fingers are, and there's the vibrations between. Clear as a bell. Illegal implants, vibrations between. Clear as a bell. Next one. Illegal implants. Get in focus. My back's starting to hurt. That one's the same. Legal implants either side where my fingers are and the vibrations in between. Move the slide over. The same on the next one. When it comes into focus with this cheapo camera, it's better. Legal implants, a bit harder to see, but the vibration's very clear. Okay, you can see the legal implant there. And legal implant there. And the vibrations in between. You can see it, everyone. Everyone. And I add, that's where your ear centers are. That's where you hear. Right there. That's where you hear. Either side, where you hear is where these illegal implants are. So they're using Manchurian implants in my head to attempt to speak to me and attempted to manipulate my activities. And then when I say, look, my head is vibrating, and look, there's illegal implants in MRI that the doctors have not reported, they say, well, that means you're schizophrenic. So how does that work? I didn't say I hear voices. I said, there's illegal implants. Look, here they are in my head, near my ear centers. And they respond, well, you're schizophrenic. What? So what does all this mean? Obviously it means that the Australian government used these illegal implants for nefarious purposes. Evidently, they're Manchurian ear implants. If you ever heard of the Manchurian Candidate, it's a book that was written quite a long time ago, last century. It's had about 3 movies over the generations made from the story because it's so plausible, and it's a reality now. Because there we go, there's your Manchurian implant, the talking implant that the government can claim when people find out they've got one in their ear. Government can claim the people that are schizophrenic because they can hear talking in their ear. And there we are. There's the illegal implants in the ear that the government refuse exists. Must be a Manchurian talking implant. That is the only explanation, considering without evidence the government claimed I was schizophrenic, without any clinical evidence whatsoever. This is skin from my ear. The skin liquefies and it's dried again because I plug it with paper, as in the paper you see there. Oops. And also there's a little bit there on it. But when I pull the plug out, the skin come out. This is skin from my ear. It's skin that has liquefied and then dried on the paper that I'd plugged my ear with. And then when I took the paper out, it had come out with paper. It's not an anomaly. This is other skin that has done similar. Some of the skin has a bit of wax on it. Some has a bit of blood on it. And I think I can see one of my hair in there from my scalp. But nevertheless, this is due to the vibrations in my ear from this illegal implant. That's half the size of what it actually is. That's from MRI. It's about 30 millimeters long in diameter, and it was screwed into the side of my skull near my ear in the cochlear hearing region, the same sort of location as the cochlear ear implant for people who are hard of hearing. The cochlear ear implant was manufactured, researched, and is copyright, I believe, to Australians. Not far from where I was surgically raped in the 1990s. This little thing next to it is an infection around the same implant. That's in 2006. That's in 2012. Both these items were not identified in the radiology report. Not. Despite that, that's my brain. And this infection is right next to my brain. That's my ear. That part of the implant is about that much. So it's about half. That's where the tip is. So that's how large the implant is. And it was screwed into my head somewhere or other in front of my ear by the look of it, because that's the back of my ear. So somewhere in front of my ear by the look of it. That's how it appears. The Australian government refused to admit that there are legal implants in my ear. Instead, they claim that it's not there. That doesn't exist, and that doesn't exist. They say, I've never had an infection in my head, and I've never had this screw-shaped thing in my head, like a pasta screw-shaped thing. Right? And yet here we are, we have these skin bits that are soggy, they're wet, and then they dry back into skin from the vibrations in my head. And the Australian government prefer to say that I'm mentally ill, because I believe that these images exist in MRI, despite that they do. So to prove that the government used the mental health department as a political tool to pervert the course of justice and cover up the presence of this illegal implant in my MRI, I received this recently. You'll see this is a result of the delegation, the Goon Squad delegation I got on the 3rd of March 2003. This one says, thank you for your email correspondence to the member for Gurana dated 25th of October 2022. Okay? Now, who's this from? This is from the office of the chief psychiatrist, right? In the envelope, SA, South Australia, Mental Health Unit, who can't even write my name properly. Look like they're 5 years old. And this refers to a date 28th of May 2023, so it's recently. And it's got here the email address highpriestess@witchhunted.com. Okay, I've deleted that after I got a DDoS attack in November 2023. So they've had this since October 2023. They've literally had it since October 22, I mean. And that's why the Goon Squad came out to my house on the 3rd of March this year, 2023. So it goes on to say, thank you for your correspondence, blah, 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 on behalf of the member for Gurana. Now, I asked him how he was going to protect my rights because the medical industry is refusing to acknowledge this. And this is the response. His response is, we're not going to. We're going to let our mental health Nazi party, or mental health Nazi, what do they call them? Gestapo. We're going to let our mental health pseudo-Gestapo to harass people who have illegal implants that the medical industry refused to acknowledge because they're political implants intended to be Manchurian implants intended to cover up crime of the government. So let's see what else they say in here. So all they do is say, if you would like your concerns about the mental health service to be reviewed by a consumer advisor, where your treatment was based, my treatment, this alleged treatment has been proved as illegal. It was illegal, proved illegal in the district court, yet they still claim that it's legal. This is part of my radiology film from the 11th of July 2007, MRI radiology film of my head. This is one of the sheets. Now, I'll zoom in to show a couple of things. If I can get it in focus with my cheap camera, you'll see this is the implant structure around my chin. You can see the foreign item around the tip of my chin. You can see the black marks here that have been blotted out. And up here, that's where illegal implants are in my face. See where they've blotted them out, made them black? And up here, you can see the cable. That's where it was, my scalp was opened here in about 1997. You can see the cable here across the top of my head. They've made that darker so you can't see it. It looks like there's a cable there as well. You can see the cable going around my head in every photo. It may be considered the edge of the skull, part of it. Part of it's the edge of the skull, but that is not the edge of the skull. That's well within the edge of the skull. That's an implant cable. I feel them vibrating in my head. You see that what looks like the illusion of entering into the head, into the skull, the break in the skull. That's where I feel a lot of movement there on the outside of my skull, under my skin. And at the crown, the tip of the crown, which I presume is there, that's where I feel a lot of movement too. At its heat, I feel a lot of heat. But you can see that's all black here. Every film, it's black. Right, and you can see the illegal implants. You can see the silicone in my face. You can see the extra silicone. That's the really white. That's the silicone that's been injected in my face. And you can see in other ones under my chin. That's silicone under my chin. That herniates underneath the bones in my jaw when I yawn. So I'm pretty sure somewhere in here you would have seen the implant in my ear, but as you can see, it might well be what this is. I don't know, that's really in the middle. Don't know why that's extra black. That shouldn't be extra black. That shouldn't be extra black. It just should not be extra black. They should all be the same colour. It should be not extra black. There should be no extra black anywhere. They're trying to hide whatever's in there. And like I said, that's certainly not my skull. That's a cable. And that's where I feel the movement and vibrations in my head. And it comes down into my forehead. I can feel the cable and movement in my forehead, literally. And other people can see it. You can visually see it from the outside. My skin crawling from the cables and the activity, the microwave activity. I'll go to another one because there's lots of goodies here. This is another set of MRI from the same day, from the same place. Focus, 11th of July. Where is it? 11th of July 2007. Now this is the side of my neck. That's the base of my head. That's my bones, my spine. That's the back of my neck. Now what's interesting is I'm not a physician, right? I do not know. But at the back of my neck was where I first felt the impact of electronic energy on the 17th of November 2006. And this started, was it 2005? 2005, 17th November 2005, which has started me with the radiology. And there's this lump here. So that's my spine. There's this lump here. You'll see this lump here is followed all the way through. Move that across on every one. And it goes, that's the side. Then it's less represented there. Then there's a bit of a mass there. There's a bit of a real big mess there. And you'll see it's starting to correspond with a lump on the back of my neck. And there's nothing there again. And then over here, the lump starts again. And you'll see it corresponds with the outside lump on my neck. And that's where I've got some scaly skin. And that's where the energy impacted the back of my head on the 17th of November 2005. Right? And that caused the energy to race up into my brain, race around my brain, and then it's raced down into my body, and I've been vibrating ever since. Very strong vibrations ever since 17th of November 2005. So you can see that lump correspondence with an outside lump. That is not a natural lump. Not natural, but it's not been reported in the MRI. I don't know what it is, but it's been covered up, whatever it is, because the radiologist has not reported the lump. This is another set of the 2012 videos. And what this one is also my neck. This is my neck, base of my skull. What this shows is in my skin, I believe it shows the vibrations. And you can see like the fuzzy bits there, all the way, everyone, all of them have that fuzzy sort of vibration look. That's repeated in my brain as well. Like I say, I vibrate all the time. So I'm pretty sure this is showing the vibrations. I could be wrong. It could be something else. But I'm pretty sure it's showing vibrations. And whatever this black mark is, right, whatever it is, it's there in this as well. This blob, that's part of my brain. But it's not in the middle, not in the middle, not in the middle. And there you see shading over that. It seems to be sitting over the top of that. Whatever was there, I would say, I would guess that that's been photoshopped out, because that's a different shade to everything else. You could see that's an overlay. If you know anything about graphics, I'm pretty sure they've probably whited this out, like photoshopped it. There it is again and again and again to correspond with the lump at the back of my head. See, so whatever it is, they're hiding it. The radiologist is hiding it, whoever's done this, because they haven't hiding it. One, either it's been photoshopped and made darker, and number two, it's just not been mentioned. There's no mention of it at all. I've had to dull the exposure so you could see the vibrations. I'll see if I can fix that. Bring the exposure up. I've got a cheap camera and it doesn't like to work all the time. No, it's not even recording. So there you go. Yes, it is. It says locked. Swipe to unlock. For God's sakes. I need a camera. Oh, bugger. I can't. I'll have to fix that later. Oh. I'm going to turn off now. There's the brighter exposure. You can't actually see all that when I do that. So I might keep that exposure dull down a bit. Okay. So there's another one. This is these MRIs indicate high probability that everyone who's been diagnosed with any type of mental illness has illegal implants, because this is how the government react. Instead of acknowledging there are abnormalities in MRIs, they're claiming people have mental illness. It's another set of MRI from the same time, the 11th of July 2012. This is the side of my head, and what they're trying to show here is my jaw. They're looking down from the top at my jaw. Okay, so this is my jaw here. This is my spine looking down from the top. That's where my tongue goes, and that's basically the gum region. I have no of my own teeth. I have false teeth. I've had them since I was in my not before I turned 20. So, due to negligence in the community from my dad. Okay, so what this does, they told me to leave the false teeth in. So you can see the false teeth are black. Okay? So the plastic resin for the false teeth are black. So whatever that black is in the MRI, in the back of my neck, might actually be some sort of plastic case. Because that's as you can see, like there's the, where is it? If I try to find where my finger is, that's the artificial teeth imprint there, and that's basically at the gum of the artificial teeth, and so coming up from the teeth. So that's the artificial teeth. And you can see that's the plate. That's the actual plastic plate. See there? So that's what the plastic teeth look like in MRI. And you can see actually in that my spine is twisted. See that? It's been twisted. I have a lot of pain in my neck. It's actually twisted, so it's damaged, and they haven't actually mentioned that. I was physically assaulted in 2007 by a police officer who illegally assaulted me, the court found. You can see the spine's been twisted, and it's quite painful, but still I get no assistance from that. So what's interesting here is that little thing there, that's in my gum. On the top of my gum are cables, like tiny thin cables, about the thick of the inner biro, like your ink biro. And they were vibrating. My jaw was vibrating so much it was threatening to make me go crazy, because your nerves for your jaw goes directly up to your brain, apparently. And it was vibrating really, really bad, my jaw. So I got something, and I severed this cable. It's just under the skin over my jawline. As soon as I severed this cable, the vibrations stopped, and they haven't stopped since. And you can, if you looked at the cable, like I feel it with my tongue, you can feel this, it's a cable and it's been severed. So I severed this cable over my gum. This cable seems to be linked to this rice-sized object in my jaw, and this rice-sized object appeared on or about the 2nd of February 2002 under a bloodied flap of skin. I went to physicians and dentists, and they all refused to get whatever this is out. I could feel the lump then, and it's been there ever since as the centre of a vibration. So whatever that illegal implant is right there, the physicians have all refused, except for one person acknowledged it. The physicians have all refused, except for the one, to acknowledge that that's an illegal implant. They claim it's a tooth relic, okay? I've had no front teeth since I was 12. Or my 4 bottom front teeth were removed when I was 12. That's under my tongue. That's my lower jaw. And they claim that's a tooth relic. It is not a tooth relic. It appeared on the 2nd of February 2002, as I said, just after I went to Newcastle Police about the Brothers in Arms book. So I'm pretty sure that was a direct result from the government, a direct retaliation for me coming to them. So there's an illegal implant that has not been reported in the radiology. It was reported in November 2006 by a radiologist by the name of Brian Roach, who suddenly disappeared from the medical registry after he made the statement that I had damage to my sinuses consistent with prior surgery. Is the effect of what he wrote. And then I asked him to explain that, and the Perrott Laboratories claimed that he was no longer available. I don't know whether they killed him or whether he changed his name or whether he went overseas and fled for his life. No idea. No idea. That's an illegal implant, and that's my plastic teeth in my gum. So that's what the plastic looks like in MRI. This is another set of the 11th of July 2012 radiology films of my head. Turn that light off. It's another set. Right here, on this one here, There's an implant cable over my nose. Don't know. That looks like it might be a remnant of it there. That little light grey line. I can feel it under my skin. The implant cable goes across the bridge of my nose under where my seeing glasses go. So this, apart from that, I know the end of my nose sparks. So I believe that's what, where is it? Here, this one here. I believe that's what these light bits are here. The end of my nose sparks. I feel sparking constantly on the end of my nose all the time. Electric sparking on the end of my nose. And I'm pretty sure that's what this is representing, these white bits on the end here. And because I feel the sparking. This is at my eyes there. I don't know much other than my eyes vibrate and bruise because of the illegal implant vibrating in my head. But this one, to me, because I'm a layperson, this one only tells me that, well, except for this, which is the right. This is the right-hand side, allegedly. Seems like the left-hand side is where the implant is. I'm pretty sure these actually show the silicone in my cheeks as well. If you look at the extra bulge, I've got illegal implants in my cheeks to make me fat abnormally. There's something in there to make my cheeks fatter. Something in the cheeks. This is looking down the top of my head. Obviously that's my eyes. It's my lovely brain. Those black things in the brain allegedly are blood veins. So I'm led to believe. This is one of the MRIs from the same set, the 11th of July 2012. This is one of them that shows the illegal implant in my head. This one, this illegal implant there. And you can see it's cut off the side of my head. So unlike this one, you can't see my ear. They've cut my ear off. So they've cut off basically half of that. So what you're seeing is about that much inside my head. So this is looking above my head again. Let's start from 6, 7 and 8, I believe. Where's the numbers? 9, no, 8, 7, 6. That's where it starts. You can see this, the ridge starting, where the implants are starting to come in. So we'll get that closer. There, there, and there's the implant. Then there's nothing on the next one. So there is nothing the same on the other side, and even if there was, it would just mean I would have 2 implants because we don't have screw-shaped things inside our head. We have no screw-shaped. The closest we have to a circular thing is the actual hearing bizzo there. But we have no screw shapes. There is nothing in our person that has a screw shape. You can see that's quite clearly there. Like I said, that's showing half of what it is. There should be the end of the ear should be about here. They've cut that off. Well, why would they cut that off? I went to the radiologist, said my head is vibrating. So what do? Cut off the evidence and not report it. So this basically just goes towards the top of my head, and I suspect that's the shadow of the cables at the top of my head, but I could be wrong. But I suspect it's the shadow of the cables at the top of my head. That's the last one. This is a second one of these that has from the top down view. Second one of my jaw, also the same date, 11th of July 2012. This is interesting for the fact that your bones aren't supposed to show in MRI, only your soft tissues. Now what's interesting is this. It's got the black line around it, whatever it is. You can see the black line, both sides of the jaw. That's my tongue. Black line, both sides of the jaw. That's interesting, whatever that is. So I have something that vibrates in my throat. So I'm always looking for something that might be vibrating in my throat or cause the vibrations. Now you see that's not here. And there's the two there. White with a black outline. White with a black outline, getting smaller. Getting larger again. White with a black outline. Next one. White with a black outline. Get it closer, you can see it's definitely a black outline. It's like it's plastic, whatever it is. White with a black outline, like the false teeth. See how that's black? My false teeth? That's plastic. Whatever that is, I would say that's plastic. Okay, there's another one there. Another one there. White with a black outline. It's clear, distinctive, white with a black outline. Distinctive. Okay, there's nothing else that is that defined as that. Nothing. That's an abnormality. Sorry, people. Like I said, that's my false teeth. False teeth. Look blackish. And this is a distinct outline. Distinct outline. Distinct. It's just behind, just at the base of the jaw, where the hinge of the jaw is. It's at the whole side of my left side gets really, really hot. So, don't know what it is, but that's an abnormality, whatever it is. The black outline. Your bone's invisible or white in MRI. So, to have a black outline, like the plastic false teeth do here, but not here, that must be where the actual teeth are themselves there. They're not as dense as the plastic itself. That's the pink plastic. That's the base of the false tooth. So that's black in MRI. And so are these rather peculiar things there. That is peculiar. Whatever that is, that's an illegal implant. I would wager, not being a betting person, but I would wager it's a legal implant. It's black, made of whatever it is on the inside, it's plastic on the outside. This is another set. This is another set of MRIs from the 11th of July 2012. This lot's the back of my neck. They're just showing about that much, the back of my neck. That's all they're showing in these images. Now, there's the large image, and each one of these small images has the large image without the lines. And you'll see, where's one with a black spot? There's the right dissecting the black spot. Where is it? Where's my finger? Here it is. So that's the small image there. And get in focus. Doesn't want to. It's dissecting one of the black spots in the ridge of that lump there. It's in the middle of the ridge of that lump there. So we should see some sort of black spots at the back here. What I can gather, that's your spinal cord in between there, one of those. That's your spinal cord, I think, there. And that's part of the bone. So you have like little wings come out the side, that of the bone. So there's one with a lump. You see that's where the lump is at the back of my head. Get in focus, hopefully. That's where the lump is, the back of my head. So near where the black spot was on the other one, which you can't see as well here. So what we see with that one are this part here, which seems to have been cut off because you can't see into the white. So whatever's there, that black thing there, I think is the black spot. Whatever that is, that part of the illegal implants, because like that's your bone there, and that's at the back of the neck there. That's a black spot. It's constant. That's not your bone. And your bone's supposed to be white. Whatever that is, that's constant all the way up. It does change a little bit. So like I say, I am not a physician, but I know my neck is vibrating as my head is, and the blurriness of the image indicates the vibrations. So the text is clear. You can see the lines through that. The blurriness, that's soft tissue, right? You only see soft tissue. Bone is represented as white. So the soft tissue is vibrating. You can see by the ridgy lines through the soft tissue. Vibration. That's why it looks blurry, because it's vibrating. And that's at that line at the back of my neck. That's the second lump in the back of my neck. Okay? That's not been reported. The vibrations in my skull have not been reported. The vibrations in my neck have not been reported. You can see them. It's even more severe there. So the illegal implant must be closer to that one because you can see the more severe vibrations there. And more severe there. It vibrates down the back, all the way down my spine, I add. So everyone you can see vibrations because everyone, they're not clear. The images aren't clear. That indicates the vibrations. Okay, illegal implants not reported in MRI. Instead, the medical industry, or I should say the State Health Department, claimed that I'm crazy because I complain of illegal implants. This is the last of the 11th of July 2012 MRIs of my head. It's the last slide I have to show you. This one shows the vibrations in my brain. See this mark across here? From ear to ear? That's the vibrations in my brain. All of these. There's a white thing there and a white thing there. That's an abnormality. They may have a cable in my brain. I don't know, but they're abnormalities. There's more vibrations there, more vibrations here. Oh, makes it hard to see. This is an artist drawing thing. You can't see the vibrations as much there, but they're very, very significant. there's something that's, where am I? An abnormality here. See that it's whatever is white. Focus. It's white. It's white with a black outline. That's an abnormality. And you can see it's directly linked to the vibrations in my skull. Directly linked. Not been reported. The one before it, exactly the same. It's white in the middle and solid black on the outside, which indicates it's maybe plastic, like my teeth. And you can see it's directly linked to the vibrations on my brain. And there's something over the other side as well. That's the same sort of structure. So I may very well have one in each ear in different locations. I don't know, but there are definitely two abnormalities there, one on each side. Where's that? Before my eyes. That's in my cheeks. That's my cheeks before my eyes. So there's my eyes down here. So that's about the jaw level. No, that's my ear level. Definitely my ear level. Except you can't actually see the ears in there. Okay, there they are up here. There's the ears, cavities. And that's where the screw implant is. Where's my finger? Battling to see which one. That's the screw implant. It's not just quite as visible on this one it is in the other one. So you can see whatever it is there on either side here. That abnormality on either side, and between the abnormality on either side, the back of my brain near my ear, you can see the vibrations in my skull. Very distinct. There's no mistaking. And then what looks like a cable above that. What looks like a cable getting to, that's just below my eyeball. Oh, no, that's my mid-eyeball. That's the middle of my eyeball. So if there's something at the back of my head, right, your eye centers are at the back of your head, at the back of your brain. So they may very well be tapping into my eyes as well as my ears, so they can, there's every probability they've got some ability to, I don't know, see what I see. Who knows? Who knows what they've got up to? They're certainly not admitting I've got illegal implants. But you can see that's a cable in my head. That's not a blood vein, that's a cable. Blood veins are black. Okay, that's a cable. That's an implant cable. Where's the other one gone? There it is. There's the other one. Next thing. That's an implant cable. They've forgotten to white that one out. Or black it out, I should say. Definitely an implant cable. Blood veins are black, not white. Bones white. Illegal silicon's white. That's an illegal cable. That's an implant. Implant, vibrations, implant, vibrations, implant, vibrations, implant, vibrations, implant, vibrations, implant, vibrations, implant, implant, some vibrations. See? Everywhere. It's not one item. It's multiple items that the government pretend these illegal implants and these abnormal vibrations don't exist, that the government pretend these illegal implants and these abnormal vibrations don't exist, indicates that there's a high probability the government uses the mental health department to cover up medical crimes. They're terrorists. They've made the Manchurian Candidate a reality. They've turned science fiction into real life. What fucking creeps.